for most of the shit. So I mean, on God, like if it wasn't for my pops, then it wouldn't be no Drake. Like for real, for real. I mean, it probably would be a Drake, but he wouldn't be where he at now.
No, that's completely.
All right, little Wayne son. I don't really know the dude. His little Novi, whatever. He says that Wayne, wrote most of Drake's lyrics, so Drake pretty much can't be better than his father, Little Wayne. And it wasn't no parody. It was some real stuff that he was seriously saying that, and I could believe it. I could believe it. A lot of people already know. Remember Kenfo Kashan? I don't know if y'all know him from Memphis. He was he was in ATL or Atlanta, the show Atlanta. I didn't watch it. But I remember him from, I'm so crispy. I'm wild. Like he had like a little buzz in the late 2000s. You know what I'm saying? I used to live down south. He had a nice little buzz. He said that, for the most part, Drake took his song and, Universal made it right. Well, Drake made it right with Universal, so they paid him. So, I mean, they've been doing this for years. So when we start, when we have differences of opinion, when we start talking about rappers, women and some of these new people, they judge rappers a little bit different than the guys do. They judge the game a little bit different than we do. We judge the game penmanship. You wrote your bars. Most people like today and the women, they look at it different. They just look at it as, was it a great song? How much great music does he have? They don't really look at it from a rap standpoint of view. So that's why the opinions of rap is going to be so different, because a lot of people who grew up as millennials and on back, the whole thing is your bars. And I'm gonna talk about that in a short, talking about Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Even though Like Us was the bigger song, really Euphoria was the better song. But the up tempo and the making you groove, you know what I'm saying? That's what people pretty much feel. That's what people like Drake. You can feel the music, it's a vibe, you can smoke, drink, people, but when we talking about your music, having meaning and having that spirit in it, I mean, Gilly used to write for Lil Wayne. People forget that. And, Gilly used to write for Lil Wayne. He's admitted it, especially when they fell out. So, I mean, a lot of these dudes, like Kendrick said in off that second album, To Pimp a Butterfly. He said a lot of these guys, a lot of these rappers sharing bars like they in the bunk in the 2-man cell. I promise I wouldn't tell. But that's why rap is so garbage today, bro. Like, the alliteration crisis in America, it's a direct correlation to what you see in the music. You see Boss Man D-Lo said that he figured out making shorter songs is better. Remember, a song used to be 5, 6, 7 minutes. An album was 5 songs, and the album was a fucking hour back in the day. Hell yeah, that bitch flying low. Looking at my man. We both look. Yeah, it was an hour back in the day. 4, 5 songs. But penmanship ain't respected no more. Bars ain't respected no more. They have so many messages inside music that a lot of people don't even get. But people don't care. So when you go out here and say, "Oh, he's the greatest rapper of all time," you gotta switch that. Greatest entertainer, but greatest rapper, man. Like when we talking about MC rapper, you know what I'm saying? We talking about bars and wordplay, impact, and how meaningful and the spirit of the words that you spitting, dog. Like Drake shit don't have any weight to it because he didn't write most of it. He's a pop rapper. He's really a pop star. He's not a rapper. It's kind of like New Edition, rapping on Candy Girl or some shit. No disrespect. That's what it is. You got to understand, a lot of us, we grew up on, Nas. You started talking about the purest form of rap album, especially on a commercial level. I mean, it really is to me, and it's funny that the RZA, I got to watch the interview on Drink Chaps. He was on the Drink Chap. I mean, he mentioned 2 of the purest albums I ever heard, rap albums I ever heard, and that was, Illmatic. He mentioned Nas, and he said Jizza was the greatest MC of all time. And when I think of Liquid Swords and Illmatic, man, I was gonna ask Kofi, man, what's the most purest form rap album you heard. You know, me personally, those are the two purest rap albums I could really think of. You know, you got Brooklyn and Queens. So you talking about at the purest form, and I mean on like a commercial level. At least win gold. I know Illmatic with platinum, and about 20 some years later, if somewhere around there, Liquid Swords went platinum. So yeah, he won't be in that conversation. But guess what? That conversation, what Nas made over 100 million, worth over $100 million. That alone puts him in an elite conversation. Because really he never really crossed over. Yeah, he had the song with Genuine, You Owe Me, and people hated the Nostradamus album. I mean, if you hate that album, you hate 98% of the rap albums today. In hindsight, real talk. In hindsight, you hated every album today. I mean, you even still had debates, whether, it was written, was that better than Illmatic? And it depends how you hear music. Most people that hear music, Drake and Lil Wayne version, they would say it was written. That's what they would say, because it will have more up-tempo type of stuff. You can hate me now, if I rule the world. They gonna feel the more tempo. But when we talk about the essence of true rap, you have high tempo songs. I ain't no joke. He mentioned Rakim. But the true essence is not compromising the music and not compromising the flow to cross over. That's what it really is. If you just cross over, you cross over. That's why I believe like Nas is really a real anomaly, for him to be always, spitting, a message in his music, even when it was like You Owe Me or something, it still was somewhat of a message in there, and still be considered, in my opinion, one of the 5 greatest rappers to ever do it. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said before, Drake chose the money route, but I don't think he possessed the penmanship to be on that level. He don't. As a rapper, he's not on that, and that's cool. So if Wayne had to write his stuff, it don't matter. If Gilly had the right Waynes, I don't put them. I don't put them in the elite rap category. They great songwriters and song makers. And like I said, I'm not a Lil Wayne fan. People keep, you gonna do a Carter 6 review? Man, I ain't listened to the Lil Wayne since the Carter 3. And I gave that album away. Like literally, I'm not a Lil Wayne fan. I'm not. I never sit there and say, "Oh, I gotta listen to Lil." It's never been my thing. He's never really been the rapper that I really care for. A lot of people like, damn, man, you don't like Lil Wayne, man. Like, nah, really not it. Oh, I like my part. Like, just never been like huge on him. You start talking about New Orleans rapper, shout out to my boy Gino. Like, I'm more of a Juvenile, BG, Mystical. Boosie, Webby, those were my guys. Those are my guys. My favorite New Orleans rapper, it's a tie. It's really a tie. Second will be BG, but it might be a tie for second too. But really, if I had to pick, it's either Juvia or Mystical. And then I would probably say, let's say Juvia, Mystical tie for one. Second, I'll probably say Boosie. I'll say Boosie second in Louisiana, not New Orleans, but Louisiana. Excuse me. I'd say my favorite Louisiana rappers is Mystical and Juvia. They tied. Probably Boosie, Webby and BG tied for third. That's probably be there for me. Everybody else, I like Mac, Fiend. I don't know if they was from New Orleans per se. I like some of those guys. Lil Wayne is cool, but I'm just not a big fan. So, but yeah, that's all I had to say, man. Let me know what you think. Hit the link in the description. Follow me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Hit the link tree. Check out my Detroit channel, my Free Game 89 channel. Peace.